Among the 12 sons of Jacob, one was especially favored by him, Joseph. And unwisely Jacob showed his favor by bestowing upon the boy a special coat of many colors, which caused great jealousy among the other sons. Their jealousy was made even greater by the dreams that Joseph had and shared with his family, dreams which indicated that he would one day occupy a position of great authority and that the others would bow down unto him. One day when his older brothers were tending the flocks in Shechem, Jacob sent Joseph to see if all was well with them. When Joseph approached them from afar, the brothers' jealousy caused them to plot Joseph's death. Only his brother Reuben saved the 17-year-old's life by insisting that they not kill him, but instead cast him into a pit. Stripping him of his special coat, they did so, and when a company of Ishmaelites taking spices and balm to Egypt approached, they decided to sell their brother as a common slave to these men for 20 pieces of silver. But in spite of the horrendous betrayal and ordeal this young man suffered, Joseph remained faithful to the God of his fathers and became a shining light in a land of darkness. He accepted his life in this foreign land among a heathen nation and became a trusted servant to a high-ranking official of the Pharaoh. Then Joseph was falsely accused of a terrible crime and was imprisoned. When all hope must have appeared lost, he was summoned to interpret the Pharaoh's dreams. The interpretation of those dreams by Joseph had warned of an impending 7-year famine, which was to follow a 7-year period of plenty. Deeply impressed by the young man, Pharaoh asked Joseph's advice on what to do to avert a great nationwide calamity, and because of the wisdom displayed in his reply, the Pharaoh appointed him to collect the grain and prepare for the famine. So grateful was the Pharaoh to Joseph and his God that he appointed Joseph to a position second only to the Pharaoh. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And it was through the obedience of Joseph that a special haven for the descendants of Abraham was provided. During the famine, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to get grain. There, Joseph recognized his brothers, whom he had long ago forgiven. After he had tested them, he revealed his identity to the shocked and fearful sons of Jacob. When they realized Joseph intended no harm to them in spite of their grievous deed, they obeyed Joseph's command that they bring their father and entire family to Egypt. During the famine, Joseph had bought all the land of Egypt for the Pharaoh except for land grants made to the various priests, and allowed the people to live on the land and return 1/5 of their increase to the king. When Jacob's family arrived, the Pharaoh honored Joseph by bestowing upon them the right to live in the best of the land of Egypt, the land of Goshen, which was the beautiful and fertile Nile Delta. It is also called the land of Ramses, or Ra, the Creator, the sun god. And it was here that God's chosen people would grow and thrive, from the 70 souls who came with Jacob until they became a great multitude. Though many have claimed there is no evidence of the story of Joseph in ancient Egypt, on an island just below the first cataract of the Nile, an ancient inscription written around the 4th century B.C. was found which claimed to be a copy of a document written by Pharaoh Djoser more than 1,000 years earlier. It is the story of a land grant made by the Pharaoh to the priests of the god Num. It tells of 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenty, how Pharaoh had a dream and consulted his chancellor for help. It contains most elements of the 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenty story, although they were corrupted in this account written over 1,000 years after the event took place. But most importantly, the priests who wrote this inscription were relying upon the land grants made by this Pharaoh to justify their claim to some land. They were not writing what they believed was an ancient myth. They obviously believed the land grants made by Pharaoh Djoser to still be valid and of enough authority to still be in effect well over 1,000 years later. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh. Ancient Egyptian records list Djoser as the 16th pharaoh of Egypt, and historians have classified him with the so-called Third Dynasty. His chancellor, named Imhotep, was first known through the writings of the Egyptian historian Manetho, who in the 3rd century B.C. wrote, "During Djoser's reign there lived a man named Imhotep who had the reputation of the Greek god of medicine and who invented the art of building with hewn stone." The legends attributed to Imhotep were so incredible that he was considered to be mythical until this century, when excavations at Djoser's pyramid complex revealed the base of a statue with the name Djoser on it and the name Imhotep, with his long list of titles, one of which was Chief under the King, a title which first appears with Imhotep and also was first bestowed upon Joseph.